Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. The coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic is causing fear in the community for our elderly and frail who worry for their health, for workers, particularly casuals, who worry about their jobs, and businesses, particularly sole traders, who worry for survival. And this is a time certainly of uncertainty. It is a challenging time, but we will overcome this together. We will work together to follow and distribute the best available advice, but also to present the best ideas to meet and adapt to emerging problems in a very dynamic environment. As the LNP Shadow Minister for Employment, Small Business, Training and Skills Development, I wish to address the economic impact, the impact upon particularly small businesses. Before the pandemic hit our shores, Queensland had an economy that was lagging the rest of Australia and was already in a weakened state, with lowest business confidence, highest long-term unemployment and one of the highest bankruptcy rates. The CCIQ Pulse survey for December showed that the second consecutive quarter recorded its lowest business conditions on record for Queensland. Evidence also emerged in this survey that the introduction of the Christmas Eve part-day public holiday in Queensland materially affected retail activity over what is traditionally one of the busiest evenings of the year, with 35% of businesses reporting that they decided to close their doors and 11% of owners working themselves to minimise costs, while 7% reduced staff hours. The impact of 9 new and increased state taxes here in Queensland has been a multi-billion-dollar drag on jobs in Queensland. And then the pandemic hit. An already hurting economy was already struggling due to a range of the factors I've outlined. So in these circumstances, I think we're all being contacted by particularly small businesses outlining quite distressing circumstances that they are facing. I welcome the federal government's $17.6 billion economic stimulus package, and I note that they've announced that there will be further measures to come. But the instant asset write-off threshold being lifted to include businesses from $30,000 to $150,000 across businesses with aggregated annual turnover of less than $500 million until the 30th of June is just one measure. The $3.2 billion to back business investment by providing a time-limited 15-month investment incentive to support business investment and economic growth over the short term by accelerating depreciation deductions is also welcome. Then there's the boost to cash flow for employers of up to $25,000 with a minimum payment of $2,000 for eligible small and medium-sized businesses. This payment will provide cash flow to support businesses with a turnover of less than $50 million that employ staff between the 1st of January this year and the 30th of June this year. This payment will be tax-free. There's also an incentive package to hold on to apprentices and trainees with real subsidies for their wages, as well as a stimulus package for the regions. And more detail, and I urge people to keep across the links that will show the update on that. I acknowledge also measures that the state government has announced, and I welcome anything that's going to help business. But we are putting forward that there are other measures that go further and will have much greater impact, and we would urge the government to address those. The payroll tax holiday the government's announced, we believe, should in fact be a cut to payroll tax for the next 6 months, because otherwise it's just a doubling of the impact of payroll in 6 months' time. We also believe that there's an opportunity to stimulate the local economy by fast-tracking particularly road maintenance. $500,000 road maintenance package into the local economy doesn't have to wait for Canberra to tick off on it. That power is in the hands of Queensland Government right now to get on with it. We're also calling for a bring forward on the payment terms for small businesses who give services to government. And the 20-day payment term, if this government took that up and implemented it right now, would help many cash flow situations for many businesses, whereas currently the 30 days cash flow that they have to wait for payment from the state government isn't even being met by some departments that are still struggling, particularly the Department of Environment. That's about 10% of their small businesses are paid late. There are other measures that we will be talking about, but this is about seeing as much assistance as possible to help as many people as possible keep their jobs.
Thank you.